Howdly diddly neighborinos. Welcome to my new channel, Shift Guidance. I am your host, Rad, and thank you for being here and making this connection with me today. This is something that I've felt called to do for a long time. Now, a little bit about myself. I first started whenever I was born, but I really got into my spiritual journey whenever I was 18 after having this crazy out-of-body experience, before which I was like, your typical angsty teenager. I was atheist, borderline nihilist, but whenever I was 18, I had this crazy out-of-body experience just before I was starting college, and I laid down. I was at my friend's, and I laid down, and as soon as my head touched the armrest, my consciousness just blasted out of my body. I remember going straight through the ceiling and out through the roof, and I'm being pulled out into the sky as I'm seeing the city shrink below me. And I'm being drawn like magnetically up into the sky and out into space, and I'm zipping through the cosmos at just warp speed past nebulas and planets and stars, and I find myself approaching this planet, and I slam down onto the surface, and I'm just in the middle of this vast flat desert, flat as far as I could see. And after a little while of being there, I feel the ground rumble. And then, several seconds later, I feel it rumble again, a little bit more powerfully this time. It's like the T-Rex coming in Jurassic Park. And I finally see this massive foot coming out of the sky. And it crashes a little bit, a ways away from me. And I am like an ant to this thing. I'm looking up at the bottom sides of its toes, and its legs stretched further than I could perceive. And then there was another one. And I could hear these two beings speaking back and forth in a language that I couldn't understand, in these voices like thunder. And then after a while of being there, I started to feel that same tug that brought me there, and before I knew it, zipping back through the cosmos the way I came. And I slam down into the next morning, and I sit up I slam down back into my body, and it's the next morning about 9 o'clock, and my buddy is just coming out of his bathroom brushing his teeth, and he was like, "Bro, are you okay?" I guess he saw me sit up like a crazy person. And I was like, "Bro, let me tell you what just happened to me." So anyways, that experience really opened my eyes to everything that I've been choosing not to acknowledge up to that point in my life. And, that led me into like crystals, first I, started researching out-of-body experiences, and that led me to, astral projection, which in turn led me to like crystals and crystal healing and stuff. And that was just before I was starting my college classes in the summer of 2012. That following Christmas season, I was down in East Texas which is where my mom's side of the family is from, and we were at this little fair called Christmas in the Park. And like I said, I'm just starting to get into all this metaphysical stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna see if I can find like a little crystal booth or something. Sure enough, I do. And as I'm walking up to it, the woman that runs it, she sees me in the crowd. She's like, "Capricorn." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Leo rising." And I didn't know my other signs at the time, but it turns out I totally am. She had me pegged right off the bat. But yeah, so she's like, "Oh, well, cool. What can I do for you?" And I tell her, I'm like, "Well, I'm really just starting to get into all this stuff, and I had this experience a few months ago, and I shared that experience with her. And she's like, "Oh, wow, that sounds like the Pleiadians." I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, yeah, the Pleiadians, they're sort of like our spiritual cousins. There's this book you ought to read, especially if you got to go there, called Bringers of the Dawn. And so right off the bat, looked up the book, bought it online. She gave me my first crystals, and she's been a dear friend of mine ever since then. That was 12 years ago. And, well, almost 13 now. But yeah, so ever since then, I've been, on this spiritual journey of like healing and learning and, just trying to figure it all out, you know what I mean? And through that journey, I've become the person that my friends have come to whenever there's like, whenever they needed advice or something, or especially regarding spiritual matters. Excuse me. Confirmation burps. Or, I've been the person that cleanses houses whenever they felt uncomfortable. They felt like there was like a presence there. And it's been a blessing being able to be that person to my friends, but I've been called for a long time to bring this service, to bring my service, to bring myself to a wider audience, a wider population, and that's what we're doing here now. So, again, thank you and welcome. I'm thrilled to have you along with me for this journey. So, as I'm recording this, it is January 1st, 2025, and gosh, 2024 was a lot. There's a lot of big shifts, a lot of upheavals, a lot of loss, but just trust that all of that was just clearing out stagnant energy, removing the things that no longer serve us to make room for us to bring forth what we wish to create in the world. Now, for just a little, kind of state of, our current energy right now. We just came through the 12/12 portal. From the 12th to the 21st, we were being bombarded with, extremely high vibrational energies from higher dimensions, preparing us, doing work on our etheric bodies, getting our DNA online to be able to exist in this higher state of being that we are approaching. 24th was the winter solstice. 30th was the new moon in Capricorn, the black moon, which is kind of a rare event. And this is a time where our shadow aspect can come to the surface, to where we're able to, work through a lot of what has been, kind of just in the corners of our minds, the corners of our consciousness that we've not really been acknowledging. This is a time where we can really start to work through these things and be able to transmute them back into love, back into pure energy, and go forth and not be so weighed down. But anyways, before I started recording this, I drew some cards just of the current state of things, where we're at right now as a people, just a general reading of just kind of like the general state. And I pulled from the Thoth Tarot deck, which is a little bit different than your typical Rider-Waite. My first card that I pulled, Adjustment. In your normal Rider-Waite deck, this is Justice. But I really resonate with the Thoth deck because it's nature, doesn't deal with like justice the way that, we think of it in our, current paradigm. This is more of a change, a rebalancing. Stuff has been out of balance for, a long time now. And, we're being brought back into balance. And that brings us to our second card, the Ten of Swords, Ruin. And that's kind of scary on the surface, but in context here, we've been going through adjustment, and we're the forces that have been in control, the deep state, the dark t-shirts, if you will, they're out of here. They're kind of in their last efforts, but they've already lost. It's just a matter of catching up in the linear to the quantum state that already exists of love and abundance, which brings us to our third card, abundance, the Three of Cups. So ultimately, big adjustments have been going on. It's going to lead to the ruin of the dark t-shirts, the deep state, the malevolent forces that, have been in control here in this third density for or not necessarily all of the third density, but here where we exist on Earth for, like the last 40,000 years. And we're finally stepping into a state of abundance. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, we're at the precipice of a new age. It's exciting. And then I drew this card, the Archangel Bothiel and Rose Quartz, Heart Healing. And it comes with a mantra on here. So if you'd like to write this down, I invite you to do so. You can pause here and, grab a notebook, or you can just, take a deep breath. And invite this mantra into your consciousness. My beautiful heart is worthy of love and radiant with kindness, generosity, and healing grace. My heart has an unlimited capacity for wisdom, forgiveness, and for unconditional love that brings freedom and renewal. I respectfully listen to my heart. I trust that my true heart's desires are divinely inspired, guided, and protected, so they can manifest in the world according to the higher wisdom and grace. I allow my heart to guide my way. And that is the Angel Bothiel and Rose Quartz. And then finally, to bring us to a close, I drew a card from the Lightworkers Oracle deck by Atlanta Fairchild. It's one of my favorites. And this is the Eternal Now. Within you is great strength and courage. However, just because you can manage to keep going when you are drained or stressed, it doesn't mean you have to do so. You are encouraged by your higher guidance to request assistance in letting go of tension within your mind and body. You will gain energy through this release and perhaps even see things in a new and more optimistic light. Shifting into a more present, relaxed, and enjoyable state of being will help you overcome the past and successfully create your future. Dear one, have your thoughts become trapped in the pain of the past? Have they been drifting towards possible futures? If too much of your energy is pulled away from the present moment, you can diminish the power you have to create what your heart desires. Creation doesn't happen in the past or in the future, it happens here, in the now, and by the choices you make in each moment. Even now, in reading this message, you are choosing to be present, to bring your energy into the eternal now, stimulating the law of attraction into action. As you relax in this moment, trusting that the past is over and the future will truly be wonderful, you can more easily energize your dreams, visions, and heartfelt desires. The universe believes that you are deserving of a spiritual gift. To accept the gift in whatever form it takes, you will need to be present, to have enough stillness of mind to recognize it. You'll need to have enough inner peace to accept it, to take it inside, whether it can nourish, inspire, and heal you. where it can nourish, inspire, and heal you. The form of this gift will be perfect for you, and the way that it comes shall be perfect too. It is being orchestrated by divine timing now. It will assist you to take the next step on your soul journey successfully. Your gift might be a piece of guidance, an inner knowing that changes your outlook permanently. It might help you truly know in your heart that your divine density, It might help you truly know in your heart that your divine destiny is already unfolding and your spiritual success is inevitable. It is not a question of if, it is only a matter of when. Your gift might be an amazing opportunity that comes out of the blue. It could be a meeting that will prove significant to your unfolding life path. It could be a new relationship or new connection with a community. It might be a life-changing teaching, a deeply healing dream, or an actual object. Spirit is unlimited in its willingness and ability to give to you. You need only be open to receive, and you do so by bringing yourself back to the present moment. Stillness of mind and inner peace are only possible when you are present in the eternal now. This is where you will find what you are seeking, so let the past be done. Allow the future to take care of itself. Center your awareness in this moment. You are safe. You are breathing gently now. You are here, where you belong, at exactly the right time. All things serve your greater good. Nothing is wrong. You are doing a fantastic job. All is in the process. In this moment, there is just the peace and comfort of the eternal now. Relax, trust, and be nourished. If you have been worrying about the past or future, this oracle comes with guidance to let it be. All is working out just as it is meant to, even the things you don't quite understand or find hard to accept. In time, you will know the perfection of all that is happening in your life. You'll feel so lucky, blessed, grateful, and truly loved. For now, however, it is enough to just be here and breathe. And then it comes with an invocation. I give myself permission to be free from past pain and future worry. There is so much goodness and so many gifts for me now. I choose to dwell in the peace of this moment, where all is unfolding according to a secret divine perfection. My unique divine destiny is manifesting with loving care. I open to the relief and reassurance that comes to me now. I am loved and provided for, and all is happening for my greatest fulfillment. I invite divine, unconditional love to awaken peace in my heart and in the hearts of all beings. Through my own free will, so be it. Amen. And on that note, we are going to conclude for this evening. Again, thank you, and stay tuned for more.